minutes of action in a hurry here in the early laps at Richmond International Raceway. Contact. That was a chain reaction just a moment ago that brought out caution for the 5th time tonight. And one of our previous caution flags, we listened in as our in-race reporter Mark Martin spoke with his crew chief Brian Campy.
We're at the minimum right now on our right front. Well, it took like, it'll take a half a pound out. You want to do something with the left side?
No, you and I aren't talking alike. You had 31 in it. Put 30 in it. 30's the minimum, right?
10-4, buddy. It's right there.
Okay, and then put the other tires where they were. If they were 30, put them at 30. If the less are 11, put them at 11. I don't care if it cooled off and they came down. You got to put air back in the others.
So crew chief Brian Campy has to listen to all that feedback from Mark Martin, the all-time winner in this series. Is it easier to thrash for his car this week or to run with the boss at Talladega last week?
They're both pretty important to us. No matter who's in the car, the 5 cars, real important to us.
Can you get Mark's car right?
I think so. I think with his feedback and the guys we got on our team, we definitely can do it.
That's our in-race crew chief Brian Campy. Turning the wrenches for Mark Martin. Doc?
Dave, 1 pound of air makes a huge difference on a short track here like Richmond, and that's why that guy's won 5 times. No one has won as many as he has. 4 times on this configuration and once on the old half mile. Green flag. Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, who was coming in a hurry in the 88 car, then Kenseth, Bliss, and Mark Martin in 6th spot. Jeff Burton now being shown in the top 10 in the 29 car after starting back in 33rd position.
One thing I'm starting to see now, guys, is that top side of the racetrack looks like they'll start using a little bit more right now because this track is notoriously good for that.
Yeah, you see
that top side.
Jason Leffler using the extreme outside top of the racetrack. I don't think he meant to be that high. That's one problem with these restarts. These lap cars force these fast cars way up the racetrack, and that does help clean off that groove a little bit.
I started to say that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you really don't want to go up there by yourself, but if you got no choice, that'll bring that second groove in a lot quicker for you later on.
Last time we saw Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski nose to tail, it was a wild finish at Talladega last week. Well, probably not as fast and not as wild here at Richmond, but it's going to get exciting because the 88 car is very good.
Yeah, you wonder if Carl's thinking about that. They're thinking, hey, I know this guy's going to take a chance. He's got a big right foot. He's going to go for it.
I bet you he's not going to throw a block on him. But there is no out-of-bounds rule here at a short track like Richmond. There is at Talladega, but we don't have that here.
We're talking about a guy making a great run. Jeff Burton, I mean, he has moved all the way up to 8th position right now.
And he's working this outside groove, and I think it's because he's had to. He started so far back that he had to pass a lot of cars on the outside, and I think that's actually paying off for him right now. He's got his car working pretty good up there.
And you got that dead right. I mean, this guy's a veteran. He knows what that outside to give him later on in the race. He knows it works. And, we talk about momentum a lot. The turn 4 off of this racetrack, man, if you can keep that baby wound up right there, that thing will fly down that front straightaway like you had an extra 100 horsepower.
I'm still impressed with the 99 car in front of the 29 there. Scott Speed making only his 3rd ever start in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, doing a heck of a job for Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, Scott's doing a fantastic job. I saw him in the airport, and he said, every time I get these doggone Nationwide cars, I just feel good in them. I'm still trying to figure out the Cup cars, but these Nationwide, I really like them.
He's carrying over, too, because he's had a good practice session, and he's having a good race. But he qualified well in the Cup race, too. Jamie?
And his crew chief, Jerry Baxter, I talked to him today, and that guy just loves Scott Speed. He said what makes him so great, despite the fact that he's a rookie, is because of his background in Formula One racing. He's very technical. He said he describes what the car is doing through the entire lap. He said the guy is great. Every time he's behind the wheel, it's an easy fix. And this guy, Scott Speed, tonight, all they made is air pressure adjustments, and he's doing nothing but moving forward.
Jamie set on the pole in his Nationwide debut at Las Vegas and was caught up in an early accident and finished 40th. He finished 8th, first time ever in a Nationwide car at Bristol, and now running in the top 10 here tonight.
That would give you a little bit extra step in your step for tomorrow, that's for sure. He's going to say, hey,
here's Mark Martin. he's got fresh tires working on Mike Bliss. And, you know, this is actually working out better than I expected for Mike Bliss. He's still in the top 5. Maybe going to lose one more spot to Mark Martin, but he's holding out pretty well here. And if they don't have a real long run, this might work out for the one car.
Andy, this brand new tire appears to be pretty good. I mean, the older tire, I know this tire's supposed to be a little softer, but those other tires, I mean, they fell off pretty good compared to these. It appears that way.
I think one thing, it tells you just how good a car Mike does have, Mike Bliss, and able to run with these guys. He's as fast as Mark right here, and looks like Mark can't get by him.
Well, you know Mark Reno and his team pretty well, so was that what he was trying to do, is knowing you had such a good car, if you could hang on with used tires and then save those other tires for late?
Well, you just never know how the races are going to work out. I mean, I think if they had to do over again, they would have changed tires, but they will have an extra set of tires. And Shannon's caught up with the crew chief down there. Shannon?
And that's Mark Reno who's calling the shots for Mike Bliss today. What was the strategy behind staying out on that pit stop?
We're just trying to save a set of tires for later in the race. Really don't have a lot of strategy, but he seems to have leveled out now. If we can stay in the top 5 or 6, we'll be all right.
How is the car? I know you guys were battling tight conditions a little bit earlier. How is it back in that traffic?
It's not as good on this second set of tires, but I think you'll be fine when we get a chance to change again.
All right, these guys up here, Mike Bliss's team had a very good week with them winning the Cup race last week. Doc?
Thanks, Shannon. And you may notice, folks, that with that Cup win at Talladega, Mark Reno now able to buy a brand new T-shirt to wear here to the racetrack instead of the old dirty ones he was wearing.
I'm not sure that's a new one. I think he just got it maybe professionally cleaned.
Oh, come on, Doc. You're not roughing this guy up, are you, a little bit?
That's just Mark Reno. He wears a T-shirt all the time. Man.
We do. We pick on him, man. Now, finally, the 5 car. Mark Martin able to work by on the inside and take the 5th spot away.
Tell you what, for a guy that's won 5 times here, we talked, you know, our in-race reporter, Mark, said he's really excited. He told me today, he said, I've been targeting this race. I've been dying to get to this racetrack because I love Richmond. And, hey, winning here 5 times doesn't hurt either.
We are halfway home, just past the halfway mark at Richmond International Raceway in the Lipton Tea 250 NASCAR Nationwide Series race. There have been 3 leaders, 6 lead changes, and right now they are chasing Kyle Busch. 6 caution flag tonight here in the Lipton Tea 250. Rookie Michael Annett has tagged the wall in his Toyota. There's the damage. He tries to get that car limping back on the pit road. Here's what happened a moment ago up in the turn.
Looks like he just got loose getting in the corner right there and went around and smacked that wall on the left side.
So that's the left side damage. Now watch from Ken Butler's onboard camera.
Man, I'll tell you
Direct over third corner. Caution is out here. Caution is.
That turn 1's deceiving. You know, you carry a lot of speed down into turn 1. It's got a big tri-oval here at Richmond. It's the fastest part of the racetrack on entry into turn 1, and he just lost it right there. A lot of times you guys can actually lock the rear brakes up getting into turn 1. I've done that before. That might have happened there.
Michael Annett will take it behind the wall. And Andy, this couldn't have been worked out better for Mike Bliss.
I think this is actually exactly what they were planning for, is a caution after about 30 or 40 laps, and then they can not lose too much track position, get in here with these leaders if they come down pit road. And it looks like the leaders are staying out here. Although with Bliss, he's going to come anyway right here. This might still work out for him.
Yeah, he last pitted on lap 67. We are working lap 131. Here comes McDowell and the 10 car down there, Brian Scott. But Bliss among the leaders, the first car, the only car up front to make his way down for tires.
And that's a lonely feeling, because you know when he comes back out, he's behind all those lead lap cars.
As long as this thing cycles out, it can work out great for him.
Shannon?
And it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for this one car of Mike Bliss. You see the crew chiefs, they're up there looking on as these guys go to work on the right side, looking for a solid pit stop so he doesn't lose too much when he gets back onto the track as the guys go to the left side, working on this one car, looking for a good finish for Mike Bliss here tonight.
Mike Bliss, one of the best cars early on, has led 50 or make it 61 laps. Comes on the pit road, 4 fresh good years. We'll come back and wave the green flag at Richmond here in just a moment.